I've created the templates for the documents like charter, for work breakdown structure, for your scope, and I've created a complete set of templates which you can use in your Word, and you can think about your project and put the data into the template. So that template will make sure that you are not only able to pass the certification, but you are able to implement it as well. Now, what happens is that if you go to some company after this certification, they would expect some sort of difference in the way you document and way you capture the information. So for that, I have created the template. So this is how we will go. So this is something which you can read. I'm going to skip certain slides. Now let me tell you about my slides. My slides are not only the slides, they are serving as a handbook also. Okay, so there will be certain slides which I'll be skipping in the classroom. It means that those are meant to be read by you in your spare time. So I'm skipping this. So there are certain terminologies. Let me explain this. PMP is project management professional. So it denotes your qualification. It denotes you also. So you can suffix it to your name after you have acquired the certification to show your status. Just like people suffix their degrees to their names after they have achieved the degree. So it is good for your current employer, future employer, and your business associates to know that you are now certified. PMI is the Project Management Institute, and PMI is the organization which is basically managing and maintaining this certification. PMI does not teach. Now, what does PMI do? PMI updates the PMBOK. PMI maintains the body of knowledge and the standards of best practices of the project management. It is a body of professional project managers, though it has got full-time employees also to manage all the repository of the information and manage the day-to-day working of the PMI. So there are project managers, those who are members of the PMI. So they are basically contributing towards the improvement of the standards. So this certification is based upon the PMPO Guide 6. Now the purpose of this certification is to give you your missing knowledge as a project manager, first of all in this training, and after this training, this knowledge will be verified. So basically, when you go and take the test, you will not be tested for your memory, but your understanding the processes. So that is really very important. So when you understand something, your experience does not matter, your memory does not matter, and your IQ also does not matter. So if you understand something, so you can implement it. So basically, I'll just tell you how to take your PMP training. You take it as seriously as you had taken your car driving lessons. So basically, after the certification, you will learn that how to drive the projects. Okay, so it is a practical training, and everything which is being taught here, it is not theory, but it is derived from the prior work experience of the project managers, those who have worked before us. So basically, it is going to enhance your practical working as a project manager. Now, PMP certification is valid for 3 years. Why? Because PMI wants everybody to keep themselves updated with the project management fundamentals and practices. So, the current set of the PMI project managers, they are doing really good. They are performing well, and their result is visible. And that is why industry wants more. Industry wants more and more of the PMP certified professionals. Okay, so the PMP certified professionals currently they are doing good, and after this training, you guys are also going to do good. And then PDU is the professional development unit which you will need after the certification. So currently, what you need is the 35 contact hours of the education. Okay, so I'm pausing for a while so that you guys can ask your questions. So guys, just go ahead and feel free to ask your question. Yes.
As you mentioned that we need to work on those printouts and all. So is that the only print, or we need to have many more? Because I'm in Pune and it's one of the hotspot for Corona, and I don't get much time to go and get the printouts. I'm not sure I can get the printouts as well or not. So if you can share that all, so I can at least try.
Yeah. So what you do, Saket, just look at the chat box. I'm going to put my WhatsApp number, and you can WhatsApp me your email ID, and I will send you that. So okay, just a moment. Let
Yeah,
me.
sure. I already have your WhatsApp number, so I think we
You
discussed enough.
have my the WhatsApp number. So in my WhatsApp number, you send me your Gmail ID, and
Yeah.
I will give you access to the Google Drive. And from the Google Drive, you can download the files.
You
Okay.
given me the two files, two PDF files. Okay.
Yeah,
One is
exactly. So one is prefixed with print this. So
yes.
that is the one which will be useful to print. If you can print it by tomorrow, it is okay. It is required on the second day only.
Okay,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, so
Thank
just see if there is some shop open or some friend can help you out. So it will be good because we are learning distantly. Because when you come in the classroom, we distribute all these things all by ourselves.
you. Yes,
Okay, it
sure.
is okay.
Understand.
So that is now for recording the marks. So what will happen that as I complete a topic, at that end of the topic there will be 10 questions. The responses those to those 10 questions should be recorded in an Excel file. I'm going to share that Excel file with you from this interface, from the chat interface in a moment. Yes, Saket, do you have another question? Yes, please go ahead and ask.
No, no, that was the only question. That's why I
Okay,
lowered.
yes, Richa. Yes, now your question. You have a question. Okay, Richa, you had a question? No. Fine. So we just move ahead with this, and PMBOK is a practical handbook for project managers, whereas we are going to provide you the study guide. Now these are the various PMI credentials. We are going to focus on the PMP, and this is the demand. So you know the demand is going to increase after the lockdown, because after the lockdown suddenly there will be a lot of pending projects to be covered, and definitely it will be very good for you. It will be advantage for you to grab some position very quickly with your certification and your knowledge. These are the search results. So importance of the PMP, I believe now you know, it is a globally recognized project management certification, worldwide recognition, and it demonstrates proof of professional achievement. So you are not only learning something, but you have to submit the proof of your 4,500 hours of the project experience. So experience doesn't mean that you need to be experienced as a project manager. It means that you should be part of any project team. You need to submit those, and they will be going through the audit process. It may or may not go through the audit process, and definitely it will improve the way you manage your projects. It will increase your marketability. See, we all want better jobs. So in the better jobs, we should be able to create a better value for our employers. And that better value is the PMP certification and project management knowledge with PMP processes. It increases the customer confidence, whether you run your own business in the future or maybe you're working with someone else. So it will improve your value as a project manager. It is globally valued across industry verticals and companies. So this is your dashboard you have seen. This is the steps, broad steps. You attend the workshop first, then you become a PMI member. So what you can do, you can do the registration today itself after the today's session. You can go to pmi.org, you can register yourself, and if you pay $139, you will become a paid member. And after the training, you will submit the exam application form. So how to do that, we will explain in the training. So right now you can just go up to becoming a paid member. Okay. After becoming a paid member, then you will apply for the exam application, because for a paid member, there is a discount, there is a hefty discount on the exam fee. So that is better to do after the membership. Now, you will book your PMP exam with Pearson View, but now the situation has changed. Just recently, PMI has announced through his website that you can take the exam at home also. They have shared a URL, and which I will share with you. Okay. Then after that, you will pass the exam. Now, this is the sequence, broad sequence of the steps to the certification and test centers. So there is need to do this. You can basically search it from the Pearson View site. What is your nearest test center? And you can just put PMI testing center and you will be able to find it. So PMP exam format is like 4 hours duration. Your knowledge will be tested for 5 process groups. So 5 process groups, you know, or maybe let me tell you, that is initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. There will be 200 multiple choice question. Multiple choice means that there will be 4 choices, out of which only one is correct. So you can choose only one. And out of those 200, there are 25 pilot questions. Pilot question means that these questions are being tested for their quality. So you don't have to worry about that. This is just for your knowledge. And question paper or the set of the 200 questions is randomly generated. So randomly generated means that they have a huge question bank. So huge means that would be around maybe 15,000 to 20,000 questions. And 200 questions are picked up in a unique set for each participant, for each test candidate. And it is a rating based system. So rating means that your marks are never displayed on your certificate. Rather, it says that you are proficient or not proficient. Okay. Yes, Apur. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so my question is, this 25 is additional to 225. Pilot question is 200 plus 25, or it's part of that 200?
It is part of the 200, and out of the 200 you will be scored on 175 question. So 25
do
questions.
We know who are, which are those 25, or it is in between any, we don't know?
It will be intermixed, but this has to be conveyed to the student as per the PMI process. So why PMI is doing that? Because PMI is adding new questions to its question bank every time people are taking test. Because what happens is that when people take the test, they can remember some questions, they can pass it on to the other people. Now, if that continues after some time, what will happen? That everybody will know the questions and everybody will be able to answer correctly because they know the questions, but they don't know the project management. So PMI wants that everybody should be tested for the project management knowledge rather than the answers to the question. Okay, because if a person has to perform well, he should have knowledge. Okay, and that knowledge is a professional knowledge. That knowledge should not be the knowledge of the question, it should be knowledge of the project management processes so that the person can work practically. So that is why PMP certification is highly valued in the industry. And in fact, you will also feel that way after the training, because after the training you will feel more empowered. And with my templates, the templates which have been created by me, I'm going to share it with you. I share it with my students only exclusively. And once you utilize those templates to gather the information of a project, current running projects in a structured fashion, you will be in more control of the project. So it is a rating based system. So I will just show you what is the rating like. And there is no negative marking here. If you don't answer a question, it is 0. If you answer a question wrongly, it will be 0. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. So all you have to do is make sure that you should answer all the questions. Okay, you should not leave any question.
Okay,
Okay,
so
now,
so I have a question. So out of
yes.
200, so 225 are pilot questions, right?
Mhm.
So and what is the passing mark?
Yes, passing mark will be 63%. And when I'm providing you the test banks, I mean test question banks, so you should be passing yourself at 75%. Right? So I'll explain to you the process, that how we are going to. It is not very difficult. We can follow this and we have all the time. So
Okay.
this is the mix of the question. In the initiating you will get 26, in planning you will get 48, and execution you will get 62, monitoring controlling 15, closing you will get 40 questions. So maximum question you will get in the execution, monitoring, controlling, planning. Okay, so we will focus more there. There is no penalty for any wrong answer. This is what a temporary certificate looks like. Now, if you look at this person's report, just look at this report carefully, that what does it look like. See this, just have a look. One second, let me magnify some parts of it. Let me get the magnifier. I'm trying to get the magnifier. Okay. So I believe that now you're seeing the magnified part of the screen. Guys, you're seeing the magnified part of the screen? Okay.
Yeah.
See, this is the printout which you will get immediately after taking the test. And maybe you will get it online because you're going to take online test from home. In this, it is saying in the initiating say above target, execution target. It is not above the target, but target. So if it is below target, if any of the 5 process groups is below target, then what happens? The performance will be fail. So, you know, in all the process groups, you have to be minimum target. that you are on the target. On the target means that you have acquired 63% marks in the executing. And if you are say above the target, maybe you have got 70%. So 70% marks. So they are going to give you the rating. Why it is the rating based system? It is just like your car driving license. Do you see any marks there in your car driving license? So when you get your car driving license, it says that you are a safe driver for this vehicle. So in India, they will mark it like a say four-wheeler non-commercial vehicle and two-wheeler if you have taken the test for that. So this is your immediate result and you will get your certificate. It will come in a package via courier to your address. Okay, so it will have something. So PMP question types are scenario based. There will be certain diagrams and network diagrams, and there will be formulas and computing. If you are having some questions from your schedule management, your cost management, your risk management, there will be some formulas and computing based question, and there will be negative descriptor based question as accept and two likely answers. So which we will see at the end of the each session. Okay, there is no penalty for wrong answer.
Sujay, I have a question. So out
Yes.
of these domain or the processes which you have shared, like initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, control, and closing, which of these processes do have the mathematical or calculative questions?
Actually, the mathematical and calculative questions, they are in the knowledge areas. If you go to your PMP workbook, page number 3, you will see the structure there. So initiating planning, they are at the top. So they are like the columns. And in the rows, you will see the knowledge areas. And the knowledge areas of the cost management, time management, risk management, they have
Mm-hmm.
certain mathematical questions. Okay. And which we will do. And you will get comfortable with that. Now, why I am emphasizing a little bit here? Because I have got some internal findings by the PMI is that the Indians, when they are taking the test, they are able to answer 96% of the maths-based question correctly because they are very good in maths. And about the Americans, they have found out that the Americans, they are able to answer the analytical questions better, which are scenario-based questions. They are not good in the maths. So there, I believe that if you looking at a maths question, so first we are good at maths, and the mathematical question doesn't require you to read a lot of English. Sometimes people have a challenge of the American phrase, or maybe some people here in India, they might not be even so much proficient in understanding English. Okay, leave alone the American English. So for them, the scenario based question could be a challenge, even though they understand the process correctly, but maybe they are not able to interpret it correctly. So that is why. Okay. Now these are the prerequisites of the PMP, which I believe you all have. You all have a bachelor's degree and PM training 35 contact hours. So these contact hours are not PDU, and a lot of the institutes, they are basically telling you that you will get 35 PDU. Actually, PDU cannot be utilized by a non-certified person. PDU is utilized by a certified person to keep the certification going every 3 years. So you will need 60 PDUs by the end of the third year, which you can submit to the PMI, and then PMI will approve that and you will get your PMP certification renewed for the next 3 years. So to get the PDUs, so what is the process and what is the components of the PDU, that I will tell you at the end of the training. So just keep in mind, so you will get 35 contact hours certificate at the end of this training, and your 4500 the hours of the project. So you don't have to be basically leading or directly, even if you are a team member, even that is fine. So 4500 hours can be roughly translated into, if you divide 4500 hours by 160, and you will be able to see that it translates into 2.5 years of the work experience. Okay. Yes, guys. So you have a question. Please go ahead.
What is PDU basically?
PDO is Professional Development Unit. It is utilized to keep your PMP certification going. Okay. So basically, when you become a professional, only then you need a PDO to keep your certification alive. Okay.
Okay.
It is required every 3 years. 60 PDU would mean that you have to submit proof of at least that you have done 60 man hours of some project work, or you have taken some training. So you are actively involved in at least 60 man hours of the project management processes. So either via training or via doing some work. Okay, so that I will share with you. It is easy to get your PDUs through the trading, and that will fulfill the criteria. And of course, the PMP certification is valid because of the fact many people, those who took the certification but did not do any project management or did not take the pace to renew it, so their certification is lapsed. It is just like if you learn car driving, you take a test, you get a license, right? And after that, if you don't practice, say if you don't practice driving the car for a long time, you don't drive your car for one whole year. So, guys, so how would it feel like? So you won't feel confident driving the car once again. So, even in the lockdown, sometimes I go downstairs and go and take the car out for a drive. So there are two things so that I continue to be a safe driver. Okay. And at the same time, I want